Greetings, gentlemen. This is OTR Ogre and Corgi, and this is going to be a little philosophical MGTOW moment. Like, link, and subscribe. You know, I'd argue that a lot of you guys, you're not really going to be monks. It's fine. I get it. In fact, monks are an anomaly. Guys like myself, we're solitude types. So, the defining thing you should really look at is, are you purple pill or are you blue pill? Because if you just go after the first woman that, acts like she wants the D, you're blue pill. And it's like what Barbarossa said ages ago. Most guys are just one fucking blowjob from going back to the plantation. And that's it's just how it is. But if you've, had the time to, have a little philosophy and thought on this, the first thing you should realize is to have standards. And I'd argue, much like what Human was saying, how women will go the extra mile in entering the relationship the first 3 to 6 months, and then it just becomes a relationship, and you get to see the mask fall off. I'd argue that's the Evee phase, like the half-assed Evee. They'll become anything they have to, and much like a lot of guys, they will jump extra high and fucking do whatever it is just to get to that point of getting laid and relationship and the good feelings, good vibes. But once they get to it, then you realize that ain't an Evee. That's some mimicking motherfucker. You don't even know what this thing is. And this is the thing I got to point out. Purple pill would be defined, in my opinion, this is my opinion alone, as having standards. Is she fat? Are you attracted to fat chicks? Are you okay with that? Or was she fat? See, let's go with this criteria just a bit different. A lot of guys are looking at what they see on the surface. No, that's a fucking bad move. You need to see a track record. Because, see, to me, most women are like a used car salesman. They don't want you to know what that thing's been through before. They definitely don't want you to know the crazy shit that's happened with that car. So they're gonna shine it up, polish it, wax it, new hubcaps and shit. Make sure that all the cheap, easy shit they can do for practically nothing. But it's the hard shit that you want to see, like the real motor work, engine work. Hey, the body and the paint might look old and crappy, but it's the motor that takes it down the road. And I've heard a lot of people say that. There's a certain amount of truth to that, but you can't make the sell if it doesn't look good. But the motor really does matter more than the body. But you're not going to buy it if you don't like the look of it. Stick with that. So when you look at the situation of a lot of women, like for instance, do they have college debt? Does she have $50,000 to $100,000 of student loans that she can barely pay every month? Is she crippled by $20,000 or $30,000 of debt? Does she have a bunch of credit debt and shit? That's bad. It's she's not even 30 years old and she's got a bunch of worthless debt. Oh no, she jettison that bitch. What about women with kids? Now I'm not saying all single mothers are bad, but yeah, I kind of am. I don't mind widows because that wasn't something they chose to do. But a lot of women that are single mothers, either they chose a fucking bad dude to have a kid with. And look, ladies, there's no not choosing this. You've got enough birth control. Even if you don't agree with abortion, you can do adoption. And there's Lord only knows how much birth control these days. There's no excuse for you having picking shitty men and all this shit. You choose these men. And then these men are going to be in your life, which means you as the dude that are dating this chick, they're going to be in your life too. So that's usually another no-no right there. It's not always, but generally. And then watch how this woman acts. Is she adult-like? Is she she's not like a little girl? Is she a fucking woman? Does she act like a real woman? Not a spoiled teenager when she doesn't get her way. And all those, cute, sassy bullshit, that starts to dry up. I'm going to tell you God's honest truth about that shit. That shit gets old eventually. Eventually, sassy is just a bitch. That's just all there is to it. And let's just say at the beginning she was a hot piece of ass, but eventually, she looks like Roseanne and you look like Dan. Well, if you're happy to get her, that's one thing. But is that what you signed on for? I mean, honestly, there's a lot of beta, blue pill style guys that'll just settle for whatever, And that's because we have these diminishing standards as men and, honestly, male disposability and all that shit. You can look it up. But yeah, there's a lot of men these days, and therefore the women have all the choices in the world, so they don't even have to treat you as well. as they used to. Try to ask yourself, at the end of all of it, is your freedom really worth what you're going to trade it for? But you got to be the one to decide what your freedom's worth. So, anyways, this is OTR Ogre. Like, link, subscribe, comment, and yeah, y'all have a good day.